All right, so we promised you some craziness. This book, this last one I I think we talked about. I don't know if we talked about it on this show or on the flip side at some point. Um, a, a a double key, if you
A
will.
double key. Yeah, that's kind of what we've kind of been calling them. It's a double key. Okay, so this is another Greek book. See how interesting the Greek books are? They're
Yeah,
just awesome.
yeah, it's got that background that just I'm not even sure what they did with it.
It's like they added lines. This
Yeah.
is the Greek published by Cabanas Hellas in 1985. This is the Greek 150. It contains Spider-Man 238, Iron Man 55, and Avengers 55. The interiors are black and white, and it has a magenta spot color to it.
So I'm going to
Remember, like
show
yeah,
the interior here.
we'll show an interior shot here. So that's Thanos' robot or whatever, if I remember correctly,
Yeah,
the story. Yeah. Do you see how it's black and white with the magenta spot coloring?
Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before on some of the earlier shows, but this is a good example of what it is.
Is the Spider-Man part also magenta?
No, it's black and white. They pick and choose, so it swaps from black and white into magenta spot, depending on like the story, and they just kind of swap back and forth. And they did this. I think they did this really to save money, and not having to do the CMYK printing process. You're only using 2 plates. You're only using 2 colors, and it's just probably cheaper on ink, but it makes for a very interesting looking book, interior art wise.
Yeah, absolutely. It's unique. I mean, I usually like the red as the kind of spot color, but this is definitely different. But for Iron Man, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So,
but what I really like this book is the next image here.
All right, so this one is the one that is crazy to me.
Okay, so 238 last panel, and I don't remember what the Hobgoblin says. What does he say, John? There, beware me or something. I don't remember. We have the last panel of 238, the Hobgoblin, and then we've got the Iron Man 55 splash page. So you literally have 2 keenness elements just sandwiched right in there.
Only thing that would make this better is if this one I would love to see this page color, but
yeah, spot colored, yeah, that would be cool. But I mean, this is a great form, man. This is again, like I've said before, I don't necessarily care about the ones that don't have the cover as much.
But this one has a key cover.
Has a key cover.
Just not the one you want.
But I build the 238 set, so this was a no-brainer for me anyway. But yeah, this is a cool book. And at this time, Cabanas Hellas had changed the size over to digest. This is a digest size book.
Oh, yeah. You get them out cheap. So
yeah, this
a little bit larger digest.
It might be a little bit larger, yeah.
So,
but it's not normal comic sized by any stretch of the means.
So how hard is this one to find?
At this time in the Cabanas run, Cabanas was just doing Spider-Man. I believe they were just doing the Spider-Man. They dropped all the other titles. Spider-Man was their longest running title. And I don't think it's outrageously hard to find because it was printed later. What did I say? It was 85?
Yeah.
So those by that time, I think maybe these books were being saved and hoarded more.
Okay.
I think you could probably land one of these between 30 and $50 plus shipping. You could probably get out of Greece for that price. You're going to have Americans that are going to price it more if it's here in America already.
Absolutely.
But if you wait around, a lot of the Greek sellers are selling on American eBay.
You got to be willing to factor in shipping in, and a lot of that. Sometimes when you're in America, you're to factor in that person paid shipping to get it here.
Yeah, exactly. So of course it's going to be more. If you're buying it here in America, like let's say if I had this copy and I was going to put it on eBay, I might start at like $100 just because it's a key book, just because I know it's rare, and just for my trouble and having to source it, because it's not like you can just contact any Greek over in Greece and say I need a 238, send it over right now. Like it will take you a little bit of time, but in comparison to the earlier Cabanas Hellas Iron Man #3 Greek that we showed earlier in the show, it's going to be much easier to find than that one. That one will give you some fits.
All right. So interesting stuff on this book. I know we had talked, we planned on doing Iron Man 1 for this episode, but that one proved to have a lot of history in it and a lot of things going on. So we kicked that down the curb for at least a week, but we do have it on our agenda. This one popped up as something fun that we thought we could get you quick and show you something interesting, show you some cool books, as well as the double key. We talked about some of these. We may have to just do a special episode on some double keys just to throw them out there.
Yep.
So
for sure.
We will be back with you soon. And Matt, you can catch him on the Foreign Comic Collectors Magazine official group on Facebook. You can also catch you on Foreign Comic Callings
podcast.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm Jon Z. You can catch me on Tales from the FlipSide Weekly, occasionally hitting up on the CBSI Top 10 show. And we'll be back here next week-ish. Won't promise, but we'll go with ish. And we'll see you then. Thanks, guys.
Cool.